I doubt it. And no.
Yeah. Most of the time they can't.
We're going to give everybody a minute or so to walk and look at the back. George has brought all of the stuff that you'll need to be able to look at for tonight's meeting, including the finances, the agenda, topic sheets, as well as the summary of what we're going to be doing tonight. So if anybody wants to go up and grab them, feel free to go do that. All right.
Yeah, anything else? One is happening and why the meeting is being delayed, please.
So the meeting is being delayed because George just got here with all the paperwork, so I gave everybody a few minutes to walk and get what they wanted or sign what they wanted, and then we'll move forward.
Yes, I can not make out what's being said. It's not very good.
Do we have anyone else we can call with that? Do we have anyone? Do we have How are you? All right, you? Not too bad.
Yeah, I have it all the way up. It's just anybody who speaks on the board with all the background chatter and everything, I'm not able to hear anybody on the board clearly. I know Catherine spoke, said something, and I believe the gentleman on the board also spoke a little bit, but I couldn't make out what was being said by them.
So we haven't started yet, we're giving somebody a couple minutes to get the papers, we're about to kick it off. And then everyone's gonna keep the chatter to a minimum, and then you'll hear each individual speak.
No,
I also thank you.
either one. Stop them.
Is that a music thing behind you, Richard?
Okay, everybody, we almost got enough back there. Perfect. Once everybody gets seated, we'll start.
Is it a good thing?
Okay, I guess they're filtering back in the seats. So, good evening, everyone. I guess we'll start the meeting by, do we have the recording device? Oh, okay, we're all set, thank you. And YouTube, Kelly, we all set? Perfect. Okay, is anyone else except for the board, recording this meeting? Okay, no hands shown, nobody's recording. Okay, so we're gonna start the meeting with a moment of silence and then on to the pledge of allegiance, and we ask that, out of respect, you turn off your cell phones and we'll move forward. Thank you.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, so there's been a lot of controversy in the community with people coming up to the office asking questions about the new appointed Julie in the front row. And so I would like for George to speak to that, I can speak to that, and then we're gonna move forward with making sure she's sworn in tonight. Everything is all set, and George will explain.
So I want to start off by apologizing that discrepancy did fall on me. I asked the girls at the front desk to vet or, check the status of the board members' applications. They went in, they checked the financial standings, however, they failed to check to see if she was actually on the deed or an owner. I was then notified, anonymously the day or two after, and I immediately, let the board know the situation, what had happened, and they immediately went to, resolve it. The annual report was not filed with the state until I had a deed with Julie's name on it in my hand. I also heard there was some confusion when I was asked at the town hall. They said, have you seen the deed? Is she a member? Actually, I think they said, is she a resident? I know they were applying, is she a member? I said yes. I wasn't saying I had it the day after. I was saying at that time, though, I did have the deed. I knew she was a member. So I do apologize for any confusion. I think on the positive note, any vote that was made, with or without Julie's vote, would have still had a quorum to go the way all the decisions went, why she was appointed or during that time frame. So for that, I'll pass it to Catherine and we can move on from there.
Okay, now I've spoken with Julie, and she did take her 4-hour HOA certification class already. She has agreed to retake that. All of the minutes that she was a part of, Gladys was training her, so Gladys's name is on both sets of those minutes. I just want to make sure that if anybody has any concerns, we've taken care of all of them, and we are going to re-swear her in this evening as if she's brand new. So she'll start as of today, and all of her paperwork from this April will be okay. All set? Julie?
I have a point of order, please.
And your point of order is what, Richard? What are you basing it upon?
I'm not sure that, our.
Richard, I've asked you, what are you basing your point of order on?
On appointments of, the two ladies to our board of directors. I'm not
Okay.
sure.
So this was at the last
Legal.
board meeting, this was at the last board meeting. Richard, if there's any questions that you have, you are more than welcome to call the board of directors.
First vice, and
Richard.
I was the board of directors.
Richard, there are 6 board members here that you can call.
Went to
Okay.
every rest.
I'm gonna move forward. I'm sorry for this, he shouldn't have come in.
We as a board appoint anybody to the board of directors, not the general manager or the president themselves. From how I read our regs in that, I don't believe this is being done properly.
Richard, I didn't hear all that. Yes, you're absolutely right. I did not appoint any members to the board. That is done so by the board members. It takes a motion and somebody to second that motion and then a quorum. I believe if you're referencing at that meeting, whether or not there was a quorum, is that what you're asking?
Well, they're supposed to, I, for one, was never given any information whatsoever regarding the two young ladies, Paula Ahern or Julie. And I'm sorry, I can't pronounce your last name, Vestiano, I'm not sure. And I don't mean to, mispronounce anybody's names or whatnot. But I was not given any of their paperwork, regarding their resumes and all that, wanting to be board members or that. So I was completely left out of the picture as a board member. So I had no say or anything, and no indication of who they were. and I just find out that they're being appointed. This is not as per past, appointments. When David Henry was put on the board, Jane Randall was put on the board, Roberta Boudere was put on the board. It was a concerted effort by all people to interview all those candidates, review their resumes, and then vote on their appointments. In this case, neither of these young ladies, as I see it, were put on the board properly. That's my objection, and if you continue, that's up to you, but I don't think this has been done in a proper way according to our bylaws.
Well, Richard, Steve was at the last meeting, our legal, Steve Mezzer, our lawyer for Brookridge Community, and he was here and walked us through the process to ensure that we were doing it appropriately. And the email was sent to you, just like it was to all of the other board members, to your director's email, and you never responded to anybody.
I never got any director's email.
Well, all of the director's emails for you are sent, and you were very clear about the fact that you were not going to go in there. But all of your board business goes in there. We've been informed that we can't email them to your personal.
Email address, it's not coming to my rcvice@aol.com.
No, we cannot, Steve has been very clear that we cannot use a personal email now that, there was a mix-up in some of the,
Then you have a big problem because I cannot receive anything through the Brookridge,
Why haven't you let us know that?
It's fine who you guys have, parted ways with, who was our IT man, never set me up properly, so I cannot receive anything through the Brookridge system. So.
Well, none of your
that's
email
something
comes-
to-
Richard,
None
none of your email comes back to us.
For that, yeah.
Okay.
And George, I don't believe did his due diligence on making sure that, the candidates were in fact legal. In the case of Julie, I saw too in, the deed, that was, shown online, basically.
Can I answer something? This is Gladys, I'm the secretariat at last meeting, to help Julie. The agenda, including your resumes, was not only mailed out to Director 2, it was also posted on the website 2 days before. You could have looked at there if you can't open Director 2. If you can't open Director 2, it's an easy thing to set it up wherever you want to set it up. We use Outlook. You don't have to have Microsoft 365 to use Outlook. That can easily be done over the phone, just talking to George. But it is posted on the website, so you could look at it there if you weren't getting your emails. And at the last meeting, they were appointed lawfully and then sworn in. Our attorney was here.
Did we as board members vote for them?
Yes, yes, we did. We all had their resumes and everything. Chance to talk to them if we wish, so wish.
When did we vote? When did we vote?
At the last meeting.
Well, I don't remember voting.
Well, you weren't here for the last meeting. We're on the,
Was that,
that was July.
okay, I wasn't at the last. Okay.
That's right. Okay, but remember, if you can't open the agenda, it is on the website, and I'm sure we can work around putting you on Outlook somehow.
I get the agenda sent to me, so that's fine.
Richard, I'll also reach out to you tomorrow morning if you'll be available, and I can make sure you're set up with that director email account.
Well, this is, but in the non-due diligence, this is like if I went and drove my car had an accident and injured somebody, but I went to court later and said to the judge, oh, I just got my driver's license. Oh, and by the way, I just got insurance.
You
This
make
isn't,
no sense.
I understand what you're trying to say, Richard, and I accept fault for not proving it myself. Normally the girls at the front desk do it. As you know, we've had turnover in staff. I should have double checked that. I did not. As soon as I was aware of the situation, I immediately addressed everyone so we could correct it. And that's why we're also trying to correct it at this board meeting. I wish I was perfect and never missed a thing. However, that's just not possible. I made a mistake, and for that I apologize to everybody. And I hope we can move on from there.
Thank you, Joyce.
One other thing,
I'm not-
Catherine, one other thing, we did hold, which you wouldn't have been able to attend. As soon as the mistake was found, the board held a meeting, it was noticed, we sent out on the 28th, on July 30th, we held a meeting to, her deed was corrected, and we held a meeting to reappoint her, and now that's why we're here tonight.
Richard, give her a chance to talk to the board and everybody, and you keep interrupting her and everything like that. You're making it very difficult for us to continue on. So just like we gave you the opportunity to talk, and they said, the residents said, give you a chance to talk, but you keep talking over everybody.
An application saying that I'm a resident and I'm not, then that's basically doing something that I shouldn't do.
We held, as I said, we held a short meeting, I think it was 30 minutes long, it was a regular board meeting, we noticed it 48 hours in advance, anybody could have attended it, at which we appointed her because her deed had been corrected prior to that date, and that's why we're here tonight.
And we did notify you of that meeting as well. We
The
actually
minutes are
saw
in.
one of the other board members, and there was no call received.
The minutes of that meeting are in the agenda tonight.
Correct. Okay. So after all this, Julie. Easy now. Okay, so, you've already been voted in to be appointed, so I'm gonna re-swear you in order to make sure there is no confusion. So we raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear that you will faithfully serve on the board of directors to which you are being appointed to the best of your ability and judgment in conformity with governing documents of Brookridge Community Property Owners, Inc.? That you will, in all acts, be governed by the principles of honesty, justice, and fair play, and in every manner possible, endeavor to promote and safeguard the best interests of Brookridge Community Property Owners and the welfare of its membership. You are the installing person, and we are installing you to be Secretary of Board of Directors. Do you swear that you will uphold what I have read prior? You can lower your hand, and by the virtue of the authority conferred upon me, I do proclaim you as duly appointed to the Board of Directors of Brookridge Community Property Owners, Inc. Congratulations and welcome. Oh my, so glad that piece is all done. I have to let everybody know that the very second that George found out about it, he contacted me, we got together. Julie was aware, her other half sitting in the front here, everybody informed us every step of the way what was taking place, and we knew that this is where we would be moving to forward. So we took care of all of those difficulties, and they took care of their part, and so now she's on the deed to the property and sworn in as your secretary. Okay, so we'll move on. Unless anybody has anything else. Okay.
Could you make their names bigger on their plaques?
I can tell you, Miss Kelly just ordered new plaques for each one of us, so we wouldn't have to have paper anymore.
How's Gino so big and what?
Can't see him.
Gino's bigger than plaques.
Let's go.
Yeah, his phone's big.
Okay, here we go. I get to speak. I make a motion to approve the minutes of July 30th, 2026. Any discussion on the minutes? We're all good. All those in favor? Aye.
Richard?
Can you hear us, Richard?
Richard, can you hear us? Hello?
I can hear you, I can hear you.
Okay, so
What was his vote on that?
your vote on that? For the minutes for last, the 30th meeting?
As I didn't attend that previous meeting, then I don't feel like I can really, attest to what was in the minutes.
Did you read it?
Did you read it? Did you read the packet?
I did not read, the minutes.
Oh, good job, Richard. Perfect.
So I'll abstain from the minutes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, now on to my report. Okay. I have a whole written, okay, I had a whole sort of written about, oh, Kelly, did you give me one back from the packet you did? You didn't, did you? Okay, Kelly is going to be putting, oh, she's running. Kelly is going to be putting these two of them here at the clubhouse. We'll also be posting it down at the office. And it's, yes, thank you. I got one, Kelly, thank you. Okay, so I printed off in the 720s, because it came to my attention, there has been some pretty extensive bullying going on in the community. So when that came to my attention, I decided that I better take a look at, what we really need to do about it. And it's very clear in the 720s, and it also, instead of just stating bullying, it talks about harassment, intimidation, aggressive behavior, repeated behaviors that intended to cause harm or distress, assert improper power, or violate a resident's right to quiet enjoyment of their property. And I want everybody to please pick one up out back, read it, it'll be on the bulletin boards everywhere that we can put it. And I think we're gonna make sure that this goes out in the last email, because it is never an okay thing. We talk about children that are being bullied. This is a 55+ community, and I really want people to remember that. There are people here that have conditions, and we need to make sure that we treat them with respect and dignity. Not go after them and state that if they don't do what I want them to do, there'll be consequences that they'll suffer. I've been at the hand of those consequences. I didn't like them then, and I don't like knowing that they're going on now. So this hits close to home. I'm still dealing with hip, leg, knee issues because of the spigots being left on at my house. My shoulder is still messed up. We're still working on that. These things could lead to lasting. I have a young lady in here that had a stroke due to somebody that scared her after they stated that they would suffer the consequences of their behavior. These people need to stop. And if they come to you and they say, sign this or else, or they say, do this or else, or whatever it is, you'll suffer the consequence, please stop them in their tracks and say, look, I'm not 7 anymore. Let's grow up and let's treat each other with dignity and respect. And that's what I think that this board expects. We won't tolerate it. From this point forward, there'll be issued a violation in regards to what we can do, not only with the 720s, because we've also told people to call the sheriff's department. Make sure that you make a report, and then after so many reports, this one in particular that I was told about, if there's one more incident, this person will be facing harassment charges. Now, I don't know of anybody in here that wants to face those, so I think that we should just take a look at ourselves, take a look at your neighbors, take a look at the other people in here. We bought in here because we wanted to enjoy the rest of our lives, not because we wanted to live behind a closed door because we're scared to death to go out front. So please, from this point forward, I would really appreciate it if you paid attention and were respectful of each other. That would be great. Thank you. Okay, now next is flags.
Okay, the June individual as requested and the July profit and loss individually were posted on the website. As of the end of July, we had a gross profit of $187,979.11. In June, we transferred, 33,161.32 to reserves, and in July, we transferred 29,334.92. Total expense was 146,656.82, with a net income of 41,322.29. On our reserves, at the end of July, we're standing at 3,798,266.82. We made 3 payments plus the 2 that we just made towards our reserves for 2026. Are there any questions about them? If not, then I'll pass the mic back to Catherine.
Okay. Here we go. Finished business. The rules and regulations were voted on at the last meeting. The AC unit has been placed in and installed in the clubhouse. And the new stage lights, as you can see, are up and they're running perfectly. So we're not running perfectly.
You want a quick 1-minute demonstration of them?
Yes.
There you go. They're saying yes.
Kelly, can you hit the lights? And I'll hit those.
They all look like they're working.
You're good there. Okay, this is your bright light. Can everyone hear me? No. It works.
White light.
Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me? Okay, that's your bright lights. And the people on the stage don't notice they're not blinding. They're angled in areas that they're not directly into their eyes. Next one is your soft white. Then we go into pretty colors. The list over here, we have like the icy blues. Then we have like the sunshine. That's the sunshine. That was the pinks, the rainbows. There's your sunshine. Starbursts. That is that the icy blue? That's the icy blue. And there's the lavender. And there is a blackout button, and I can put them completely in the dark. And then bring it back up. That is your new lighting. Put them in the dark now. I'll leave the light on.
Well, thank you very much for the demonstration. I thought that was kind of great. Except we're blinded up there now. Okay, George, it looks like you're up. Am I correct? Oh, no, it's Paula. Yeah.
Hello, I'm Paula, and I am talking about the tennis and pickleball courts. Sports Services LLC was approved last month for the pickleball courts and the tennis courts. However, due to lack of communication, we could not get them to respond. So that has been canceled, due to not, the proposed motion would be not to accept Sports Services LLC due to no communication. And if anybody has any questions about that, oh, we will discuss now. I made a motion not to accept Sports Services LLC due to no communication. All in favor? Oh, now discuss, I'm sorry. I'm new. Okay, the motion, all those in favor? Aye. The motion has been accepted. Richard? Richard?
Aye.
Thank you.
If we haven't responded, aye.
Thank you. Okay, now moving forward, we do have an updated contract with AAA Services to do the pickleball courts. We did reach out to them, they did respond, and George did receive a contract. And our motion is to accept AAA to resurface the tennis courts and the pickleball courts. So I make that motion. Discussion, any discussion?
What's,
The amount is $20,800, I believe. Yes, that is correct. And that is one of the scope of work is to repair the big crack. There's cracks in the courts, is to repair those cracks and also to resurface and repaint and redo all of the lines on the courts. We have 6 pickleball courts and we have 2 tennis courts. The warranty, George, 2 years.
This is also the first contract we attempted to go with, and it went back and forth. I don't know if you remember, we spoke of it at the last meeting. And then that's why they moved on to Support Services. Well, they finally got back to me and agreed to meet our demands with the contract and send us over the proper paperwork, and I got that to the attorney. So everything's good to move forward with that if they do choose, however they choose, go now.
Okay, I think they picked out the pickleball court colors and I sent those to you. So, all of those in favor?
when
Aye.
will they get all this done before the snowbirds get back and everything? Will it all be finished?
What I was told is they're about 30 to 60 days out. So once we get those contracts signed and those colors, specifying which colors over to them, along with the down payment, they will put us on the calendar, and then shouldn't take like, a couple days once they get out here.
It'll take how long for them to do once they get out?
Shouldn't be more than a couple days.
Okay, so it won't inconvenience the pickleballers and the tennis people.
No, Richard, this is Paula. I spoke with the pickleball president and the tennis president, and they're well aware, and we will notify everyone as soon as we know something. Okay? And we'll give you that time frame.
Sounds good.
Okay. All of those in favor? Aye. The motion has been accepted. Thank you.
I have a quick update on Second Gate opening out the back. I spoke with them over at, the traffic study, traffic mobility, and they are still on track for being out here to do, Ken Austin Parkway, because they did Grove Road and they did Sunshine Grove Road. So it's not gonna cost us what it did in order to be able to do that. And had there been more than one, they'd already been done by now, but we're gonna move forward. And, they'll be out here right after school starts, they'll wait 2 weeks, so I've been told, until the, initial traffic dies down and they get a routine going on. And then they'll be over here to check and do the traffic study. And they'll let us know, they'll start right after that with the engineers at the county. Okay? Okay, the pool furniture won't be in until September 29th, the chairs. Once the chairs are in, there's nothing we can do between now and then. As Jane had explained earlier, the chairs are being handmade, hand woven by them, and then they'll ship them that way. So we'll move forward, putting that, it'll be on the agenda until after the chairs are here. The umbrellas are here, and I do know somebody had talked about doing some more painting out there, but we haven't completed that at this point that I'm aware of. So, it's too hot. Okay, very good. And then, the forensic audit. Okay, so the forensic auditor is working with the investigator, and they are talking about the specifics that the investigators are looking for. And we've already talked about what Brookridge is looking for. And once they get that settled, they will start the process. They've already requested some of the materials, so we are moving forward with that. Finally, so. We went with Stewart out of Tampa. They're highly recommended, 5-star company, so I'm hopeful, that they'll be, they'll expedite this process for us. So, at any rate, now it's George.
So I'm gonna speak, I was gonna have Public Works, but unfortunately they were, occupied for the evening, so I'm gonna speak for them. They kind of gave me a list of everything when the individuals came out to do the quote, but this is for the catch basin at Adair, and then also the curbing along that catch basin at Adair, at the slide by Scepter, and then here by the clubhouse where the railing was that keeps getting washed out. So the first bid was from Lakewood. It was $7,800 to do the improvements at Adair. That would be filling in. They're gonna like crush concrete, fill in the sides, fill in where it was collapsed, drop the actual top of the catch basin down, and then completely lay new concrete, creating a new slide. And then the curbing will go along the right side of the road to the property line, and then to the left of that slide as well to the property line. That way we're not getting that washout along the sides of the catch basin again, and hopefully moving forward that'll resolve the problem. They also quoted the curbing for Scepter and the clubhouse here. That in total was $7,500. That is both curbs going along the left side and the right side of, the big retention pond, back left corner, the real deep one. We just, I believe, did work having to lift the road back up because the tube fell. Well, now the same thing happened. The sides are starting to collapse in and wash out. So before it gets worse, like Adair got, putting that curbing in will protect that work where the slide is. So total to do both jobs for Lakewood is $15,300. Now, Triple Crown wants to rip everything out and reform everything at Adair, and that would mean also the I don't know the proper term of it, but the actual pipe that's running underneath the road because it wouldn't just be a slide, that pipe is going underneath as well. The other two companies are leaving that because it's not broken. They're just fixing the catch basin on the top. However, they said they will work everything out, remold a whole new slide, and redo that piping going underneath the road. However, that'll be $21,000 for a dare. Then they quoted the concrete or the curbing for the clubhouse and sector at $11,300. Their total quote for both was $32,300. And then PID would do the same thing as Lakewood would do: the cut concrete on the sides, drop the top, pour the new concrete on, and build that slide, and then put the curbing in all the same places at a dare for $8,800. And then PID would do the curbing at the clubhouse and along sector for $6,100, totaling $14,900 for both jobs that combined together.
Thank you, George.
Yes.
Over on Denmark, there's that sinkhole, is that, any of that have to do with some of that over there, that retention pond?
So we're aware of that one. There's also the slide next on Brookridge Boulevard, close to the 16,000 block. Has damage and is going to need repair too. However, these were the first ones that have been quoted. I think we've been talking about these. I feel like it's been back in January or February, and we were finally able to get somebody out there to get the quotes. But depending on how, I guess, the outcome is, might be easier to know how we want to replace those other ones that are in need of servicing, so to speak. Yes.
I have a question, George. What about the retention ponds? They used to cut them and all that, and none of them been done.
So they did cut some of the retention ponds. They're going to do it semi-annually twice. They do not cut retention ponds on the golf course.
Right.
So that will, at this time, has not been done. And from what I told, was the golf course's responsibility moving forward. But yes, they should be cutting them. They started, then we started getting all that rain. That took a break. They had to play catch up because that whole week, I think it rained like almost every day. So they immediately just had to go out and catch up on the median, the clubhouse, out front. But yes, they will. The plan is mid-summer do at least once, and then in the summer, so it's good and looks tidy for the rest of the winter.
Now, there's a Dennis retention pond on Brookridge.
Adair's retention pond does belong to Brookridge, I believe. Don't quote me on that. But I know we've always maintained it. I know they did a whole bunch of work around that catch basin before. And they just keep throwing bags at it, and it's not fixing the job.
Okay, there's a there and a very deep retention pond, those need to be tended to because they can just growing out of control.
Yes.
Fleetway also has a problem, and I was wondering if you guys are gonna fix that area along the edge of Fleetway and that retention pond comes in towards the golf course. It keeps washing out. In years past, they just threw solid bags of concrete down, tries to stop erosion, and it just washes up.
So you're saying the catch basin by Fleetway?
On Fleetway, yeah.
Okay. I'll have the guys look at that. Like I said, we'll see how we move forward with these, and if these resolve the problem, and then we can have them quote those as well.
Our maintenance people on the golf course have been trying to put some dirt in there to help hold that back so that it doesn't completely erode, because you guys are gonna lose the road there.
Okay.
You don't get it to stop.
Okay. I'll have them look at that first thing.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, George. So,
So what is the PIO Carreras? How does that third quote compare? And it's such a small little thing. How does it compare to these others at $5,800 or whatever?
In my opinion, I know nothing about PIO Carrera. I'm very familiar with Lakewood. I know they've done a lot of work in here in the past. However, that doesn't mean anything either way. However, I'm sure we could drive around and see a lot of driveways that have been completed and know they do good work. As far as PIO Carrera, I have nothing to judge that off of, or Triple Crown as well.
Thank you, George. With all that being said, more discussion? Okay, I make a motion that we have Lakewood Concrete Construction come in and do that, the road, the curbing, well, the road anyway, over on, and the slide over on Adair for the sum of, because there's two different ones here. It comes up to 15,300 for both. Do I have a second? Okay, all set with discussion? All those, okay, thank you, guys. All those in favor? Aye. Thank you, Richard. Okay. Oh, the insurance. Okay, so, the insurance claim that we have been, presented, we had a difficulty out at the front gate. I think George can probably explain it to you better, but I'll try. When you go outside the gate, there are two lanes. They're clearly marked, and then we have that, square speed, the stop, the raising of the, what is it called, George? No, it's on the floor, it's a mat that's underneath us, and it raises the gates when you're going through it. This young lady was in both lanes. We all looked at the footage. She was in both lanes. She was more towards the gatehouse than she was the other side. So this gate went up and it started and it didn't come down. This one went up, but it came down like it's supposed to, and it hit her car. So, we have been presented, from the insurance company with options from Hamilton. The first option, is to resolve the matter directly, with the claimant by paying the documented damages and obtaining a signed release of all claims. The second one is request that the claimant pursue the matter through her own automobile insurance carrier and consider given to reimbursing her deductible, which has been reported as approximately $1,000. The third one is that Brookridge will deny liability and take no voluntary payment at this time. Should the claimant decide to pursue litigation, Hamilton would evaluate and respond accordingly. However, keep in mind that the policy deductible would still apply toward defense costs and any covered resolution of and for the claim.
And you have it all on tape?
Yes, we have it all on tape. So, Christian, you wanted to speak to this?
No, I'm okay.
You're okay?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Christian. And your question is,
If we have the attorney, how much?
wait a minute, hold on, there was a young lady behind you that was talking.
Well, if you have it recorded, issues and complaints, we should have to pay anything in some form.
Okay, and that's what we're doing. That's what the motion will state. We've already discussed this. So everybody else all set? So I'll make a motion that we accept number 3, we will deny liability, and we will move forward. All those in.
Yeah, one more
Discussion?
question.
So we're looking at the discussion?
Yes.
So the basic thing is if we take option 3 and then she goes to sue us, when you're saying it'll revert back to Hamilton Select Insurance and they will defend us. Is that what you see?
Or will our attorney be doing?
Yes. Should the claimant decide to pursue litigation, Hamilton would evaluate and respond accordingly, and that would be, they are our insurance. Brookridge is
Okay,
insurance.
but now she has 2 years to make a claim or whatever. So in that period of time, we could lose that company as our insurance company. Then what is our recourse?
Well, that is a good point, and I'm not sure, I'm going based upon the information that I have in front of me and the information that I have seen. The tape clearly shows her only on one of the paths, not the other. She drove through, she never stopped, she didn't come back until much later, and when she came back in, she informed. She did not stop, no.
And what, did she give an extent of damages to anybody as of yet?
No.
Yes,
Oh, she did?
the,
Okay.
the estimate was roughly 3,000. And that frame, it was scratches along the side of the vehicle and the rearview mirror. Yes, the side mirror.
So our own pocket, if we choose to take option 3 and this comes up a year or 2 later and we don't get Hamilton, then it's 3,000 out of our pockets, possible.
Can we keep that video?
Yeah.
If you have that insurance company,
I
you
don't-
don't claim at that time, that insurance company has to continue to represent that particular.
Correct, that is correct, that's what,
His question answers that.
I just wanna make sure that.
You're not making a claim at this time is what you're saying.
The incident has happened.
The Hamilton has already been notified, and George has been in touch with them and reported back to us of what's going on. The only thing is I wasn't sure of the amount of the damage.
I did report, the incident to the insurance, within the week it happened, and this was the response of the options we had moving forward.
Okay.
Hamilton has the videos also, and has reviewed them. The video is very clear, I looked at it, she was over the center line, she was not in her lane. She did not pause or stop or give the gates time to go up or down. She just drove and hit her vehicle, it was her fault.
And it does show 2 cars, one on each lane, going through they were leaving the community. They slowed right down to a stop, and then they both moved forward, and both gates were working appropriately. She came directly down, well, a little bit closer to the gate, but down the center. And she had started out down the center, quite a distance back from the gatehouse. So she was in both lanes, like, couldn't decide which one she was.
Is she a resident?
I don't believe that she is. Is she a resident? No. I believe she has relatives in here.
I don't know, I don't think that'll matter either way anyway.
Yeah, no. There was no damage to the gate, to my knowledge.
No damage. No damage to the gate. No damage to the gate.
No. Okay, so I make a motion. All those in favor? Aye.
That's to take option 3, is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Right, fine, I'll say aye.
Thank you, Richard. Edward and Justine, is that Justine Whittington? Are you here? Come on up.
Yes, excellent.
Okay, so you live at 8149 Dinsmore,
8149 Dinsmore.
and you are requesting,
I submitted a request for
yep,
temporary parking.
yep, so you use, is this a picture of the?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so the picture that you've shown us for parking is on crushed rock, correct? Okay. To my understanding, and I've spoken with George, and I've also spoken, and looked at the rules and regs. Crushed rock is not something that you can park on at all because of the pipes and all the things that are under the ground that we're not aware of. So if you want to be able to utilize that for parking, you'll have to work with the ACC on either concrete or blocks. Patio pavers? Pavers.
I read that in the bylaws and whatnot, I just thought for
Right.
temporary parking, I mean, accessible.
Well, I don't believe that temporary parking is acceptable due to the piping that's underneath there, and we're not sure what it is. Okay? And Christian, you had something to say? You don't either?
Good.
Okay.
I like to keep my options
Oh, okay, that's,
Throwing paper out.
okay. So, was there something that you had to say, Justine? You're all good? Okay,
Thank you.
very good, thank you.
I just wanna say for temporary parking, are they looking for something for a week? If it's on the side of the house that doesn't have nothing going underneath it, it should be fine.
I believe we're going to make a motion what is it, it was the ACC that denied this, yes. We're gonna make a motion to uphold the ACC's decision on this matter on Dinsmore, as they already denied it. So we're gonna uphold that decision. That's the motion, do I have a second? Any more discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Thank you. He said aye.
Aye, yes, it's fine.
Carol Hill? Okay.
I just said I disagree.
Okay, so Carol, you have put on the board agenda that you would like to start a game club of hand, foot, and elbow. Okay, and you already worked with Kelly as far as the space and the time frame? And there's, she's shaking her head yes. Okay, so I make a motion that, Carol will be able to start this hand, foot, and elbow card game club. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Richard? Thank you. Okay. Oh, the Bible study, and I know that they're here. Sue King. Can you guys come on up if there's anything that you need to say, otherwise we'll just, okay, perfect. So Sue King has requested to do a Bible study group. And she's given us some paperwork on this, and you discussed it with Kelly, and you have a date, time, and space in the clubhouse. Well, it's not here yet. I'm sure that they're gonna work on that, you know. Really? Oh, yes, Monday mornings in room C from 10 to 11:30. Thank you. Okay, I'll announce that one out. Okay. Okay, and the hand, foot, and elbow will be on Tuesday evenings, 5:30 PM to 9:30 PM. Starting September 1st. Very nice. Okay. So I made the motion, it's been seconded. No, we got it on the other side. Okay, perfect. All right, so all those in favor? Aye. Richard, thank you. And now, well, can we do that one? Okay. All right, the next one, Cheryl Maines. I don't believe Cheryl's here, I think she's out of town. She is the Brookridge Activities Committee is having, they're hosting a free community movie night. It's on September 25th from 5 to 9:30 p.m. It's in the North Hall. Brookridge residents only. The movie is American Graffiti. Bring your own beverage and popcorn and desserts provided by Brookridge Activities Committee. So this is something that she wanted to have on the agenda, which is, I'll make a motion that we have this movie night, community-free movie night, and there are tickets, I don't know if there are still tickets available, but they said just come and you can go in. So I make a motion that we, have this community movie night on September 25th from 5 to 9:30 p.m. in the North Hall. Thank you. All those in favor? Aye. Richard? Richard?
Yes,
Okay. And then there's one more class, Sheila Walsh. There she is. Do you need to come up and speak? You all set?
Well, I just gonna be nickel and dime. We don't want the other clubs for a lot more money.
Okay, so if you want to come up and talk to us, that would be great. Because everybody's gonna start saying, we can't hear you. Okay. Thank you.
Hello? Sheila Walsh, Unit 3. We just want to have a nickel and dime kind of poker game, open, dealer's choice. And we only have 2 hours to play because it's other things are going on.
Okay.
And that's really just about it. The other clubs are much more money. And we want to stick to something low.
Okay, that sounds great to me. Yeah.
Okay?
Okay, so it is going to be in room E on Tuesdays from 11 to 1. Perfect. Okay, so anybody that wants to talk to her about it, just, or anything else, so I make a motion that we have the, new 5 and Dime card game club on nickel and dime. Okay, on Tuesdays.
Is this
Go ahead, Richard.
discussion yet?
Yes.
I just want to know, you're saying 5 and dime, so this is gambling then, right?
Yeah. Oh, big gambling, it's 2 hours, nobody could possibly do this but a couple of bucks.
So, what is the limit before it's considered gambling with the state?
$10.
So we don't go.
$10.
$10. So anybody losing $10 is then out of the game.
Exactly.
Then I have no problem. I just want to make sure we don't violate any games.
No. Okay, and that's good, so the nickel and dime card game is that motion put out that is in room E, Tuesdays from 11 to 1, and, okay. And it starts next week.
As long as it was approved.
Okay, so it starts next week on Tuesday. We have a second, all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Richard. Okay, so is Donna DeFori, are you here? Okay. Okay, so there is an ACC variance request. Okay. Yes, that is her. She, we have all the paperwork. She went to the ACC and they denied her. She wanted to put a shed on the side of her house versus the back of the house from what I'm looking at. And it extends the back of the way that it's set, it extends out several feet past the back of the house. So, yeah, it's on an easement. So, I'm gonna make a motion that we uphold the ACC's decision on this, because it's not the back of the house, it's the side, and there are several difficulties with that, from what I'm looking at. For a second, any discussion on this? Christian has a discussion.
If it's to the side of the house, is it to the side, can it be seen from the street or other neighbors or whatnot?
Yes,
But then I would uphold the ACC.
okay, so I made the motion, it's been seconded, all those in, yes. Right. Okay, so all those in favor? Aye. Yes.
Hello. I'm discussing the Scobie ducks tonight.
What are they?
We did have an email about the Scobie ducks and a request to possibly have them removed. I personally haven't seen a lot of ducks. I'm not done. I'm not finished. So what I had noted is with the heavy rains, when rains come in Florida, and they're really heavy, I've lived in Florida for over 50 years. When they come, the ducks will come because we have a lot of water, and the water does not recede quickly when rains are heavy in Florida and thick like they were. So you will see ducks. Typically, the ducks will fly away. I did a lot of research on this, and I found out there's a lot of rules and regulations that you should call the FWC. And if it's on your private property, if you have private property and you have ducks on your property that are making a nuisance, I guess, on it, you can actually call yourself. You can call the FWC, they'll give you guidelines, they may give you a list of people who can come and remove them. They have to be removed humanely, or else, and with a professional person has to be hired to remove them. The cost of that, when I looked it up online, I didn't get any official cost, can be anywhere from $100 to $500 per trip that they make out to remove the ducks. So my motion for the ducks is just to, if a resident, if the ducks are on your private property, the resident can call and see what they can do. But I do not feel as if Brooksville, my motion is to, Brookridge is not going to pay for the removal of the Scobie ducks. We have, yes. Would you like to come up here and speak, please? Thank you.
Now, I totally agree, but the Scobie ducks are not water ducks. They're not ducks that spend, like regular ducks that are at the pond. They don't, it's not water that they go for. And they are protected.
They are protected. They definitely are. Let me find my note here. And, yeah. There's several different, there's an 828.12 cruelty to animals. Right?
Oh, yeah.
There's all kinds of different things, but when I researched this, It says the best preventative measures, now tell me if I'm wrong, the best preventative measures to deter wildlife from your personal yard. Do not feed the ducks, maintain attractant-free zones by removing accessible food sources, securing trash areas, securing overhanging vegetation that ducks could use for shelter.
Yeah, I was just talking about, you know, he said that.
Yeah.
Oh, they don't.
They don't come because of the water? Oh, I read that, so that's why I'm saying.
No, I read, you know, I researched it, and they come in a group, and yes.
Hello?
No, they come, and, you know, they like water, but they're not like regular ducks that like to bathe and all that. If you read it, you're dirty. No, yeah, no.
Do they swim in the water?
Yes.
No, they're not water ducks. They'll go in the water, but they're not.
She is correct, they are not water ducks that swim on a pond or something, but they will hang out around the pond.
Thank you, Gladys, thank you.
They are a huge problem in Pinellas County.
Okay, so we have a motion, a second.
Good evening, I'm Gino Marty. I'd like to know something. Has any of these ducks created a problem with any of you? Have they attacked you? Have they destroyed anything on your property? What? I can't. Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't see why we have such a big discussion. If you find a duck that's hurt, bring it inside, try and make it as comfortable as possible, and then call somebody that is qualified to do what has to be done. I don't see any reason for getting rid of ducks when ducks have been around longer than we have. So leave them alone and they'll leave you alone.
Okay, thank you, Gino. So all those in favor? Aye. Thank you. Okay, the next one on the agenda was the horseshoe sign, and we received a letter August 19th. Brookridge Horseshoe Club, Terry Brandenburg, President. Please cancel our agenda meeting tonight, August 19th, 2026. We are going to be out of state. So that's been canceled off the agenda. Okay, and then the next one is the school gate. Okay, here we go. The school gate. Here we go. Well, I don't know if it's non-children, but we'll go through that.
Do we have discussion right now, or what's going on?
No, we're not doing the discussion right now. What I'm doing is, reporting on the school gate. I know that, Gino has been working on this. He was given the opportunity to, contact county, the school board and the sheriff's department. So he may have a little bit to add to this, but, we are trying to get a crossing guard. In fact, they said that just as soon as tonight's meeting's over, as far as I know. Gino, did you want to talk about this?
Yes, I do. I contacted the school board, and the school board referred me to the sheriff's department. I talked to the sheriff's department, and then they told me to go back to the school board. So then I talked to the school board again, and I told them, the sheriff's department said that if you find a spot that you are okay with, and it goes through, send it to our office, and we'll look at it, and then we'll put a guard up. And the sheriff's department said they will pay for the guard. We will not pay for it. That's what they told me. Now, whether they change their mind on, I don't know, but if they do, I'm gonna refer back to what I'm saying to you. we don't pay for the school guard. We had it at one time.
Will the school guard have a lock and key for our gate?
Yes,
Which we closed many years ago.
So they'll be responsible for opening and closing the gate during, the time when the kids go through to school and go back home.
George, I don't believe that the school will be responsible for that or the crossing guard. I believe it's gonna be,
I don't know either way, I did not, research this subject, so
okay.
I couldn't speak on this one.
I have researched it and I know Gino has checked with you people.
The thing here is, the board before us stopped the crossing guard. They were not informing the parents or the students that they could go there. So when there was no traffic, as far as parents and students, they put up the gate, locked it, and forgot about it. Well, they need a school guard there.
How many kids are there?
I don't know how many children are in the school that would cross there, but there's gotta be quite a few, you know, I mean, they're not talking.
I can't speak on this, the way it actually begun or came up was there was an individual that rode his bike there, he locked his bike to the fence and jumped the gate. I contacted the individual, the parents said he was here legally, we verified his grandfather then. I believe he's in high school, probably one of the last few that could be in here. However, if we were to unlock the gate, we would also have to have a school guard and everything there for safety reasons. So all that stuff had to be aligned. The gate was voted on, I don't know which year, previous boards ago to lock the gate. However, it was never changed in the rules and regulations. However, that vote did happen. So at this point, that gate remains locked, as in the last board voted to have it locked, up to this point.
Yeah, nobody has come, called me back, either from the sheriff's department or the school board, and I think the school board is who's gonna call me back, and I'm waiting on that call. If I don't hear from them by next week, I'll call them again and find out what's going on.
To our knowledge, state and county law is that if you have one child, just one, you need to have that gate open. Otherwise, you're violating the law and the education of that child to be able to get across the street. So I'm not, and when they closed and locked it, I'm not sure who researched that, but closing and locking the school gate, even if you have one child, you can't do it. Once there are no children in here, and that's the other thing everybody needs to be aware of. There are renters in here that have children. They're not supposed to, but we're not supposed to have landlords that bypass the office and just allow people to move in. So we can discuss that point. Christian, you got a thingy. Okay. Oh, now he's gonna talk.
Check. My question is this, we have a gate there. What if the gate was not there, it's just a solid fence? Would we have to put a gate there, and then would we have to put padlocks and all this? Or, do we have the option of just removing the gate instead of going through all this rigmarole for kids? And I'm not anti-kid, okay, don't get me wrong. But I thought I moved into a 55-plus community, and there's a lot of kids in here, and we've been over backwards for a lot of these counties, okay? And, I just think there's an easier way out of this. Maybe just removing the gate.
Well, the difficulty with removing the gate, Christian, is that the secondary gate, that's where the secondary gate's gonna go anyway, so there will still be a gate back there.
You can't have traffic and kids at the same time.
No, it would be second, it would be off to the side of that. But no plans have been made at this point. The only thing is, if there's one child in here, and this is his last year as far as correct, George?
I have not been able to verify that.
Okay, I understand we have to have a secondary gate for hurricane evacuation, I get that.
Okay,
But it
So,
seems like that's being used against us
No.
to accommodate kids in a 55+ community.
okay, but bear in mind, now James just reminded me, if we have a 1-year-old, when it was voted in, they would still be correct.
In 2000.
So they're going to school.
It changed in 2013, and it's not a grandfather, that's 13 years. How many years are they? 13 years, so they're only 13 years.
Correct.
This is 26. I thought you were saying
No, if they were just a baby when this went into existence, then they're only like 13 years old at this point, so they still have 5 years of school.
It was changed in 2013.
Yeah, plus the renters are bypassing because of those.
So tell me, are we going to table this until we find out if it's gonna be our people that have to open the gate or the school's guard people? Open the gate, or what are we gonna do?
I think that what we have to do now, school opens in, let's say, 19th and less than a week, in fact, it opens next week, to my knowledge. Is that correct? The 23rd? The 23rd, last week? Okay, so the problem is that I believe that instead of being in violation of some sort of state or county rule, that we open up that back gate and we figure it out with the staff or so, we figure out how to pull that off until we're out of this 13 to 18 or 19, whatever year they get done. And Lucille, did you put in a paper to talk on this?
I'll wait till the end.
That would be great, thank you, because it's creating confusion. So anyway, I think that we don't have time enough to be able to table this. I believe that George and the board can work together in order to be able to come up with some form of resolution as to what we're gonna do with that school gate.
Is it only gonna be open for the beginning of the day and then we open?
And I can't hear you, so I really, did you write up a slip of this? Okay. The thing is that I think that we should do this, so I make a motion.
She was asking if it could only be open during school hours, like
Yes.
in the morning and at night,
Correct,
or in the afternoon.
correct, yes.
So my question is though, then are we gonna have a code enforcement person at that gate for the whole time that the kids are going to school, when that gate is open, to when, if they're gonna stay there stationed there until the school day starts, and then they're gonna lock the gate? We're not gonna leave that gate just open and unattended. Is that, true, or is that not true? Do we have the manpower?
I believe that the crossing guard will be at that gate.
You know, we have to monitor. And so you just can't leave the gate open unattended.
We never did.
No, that's gonna be the responsibility of the gate guard. We're not gonna pay for anything there. This is all for the school board. They're supposed to get back with me on this. As soon as I find out what's going on, and I have asked that question that you're asking tonight, I believe that when they're done having the children or parents and the children cross, they will lock that gate, and then they will come back when they're getting out for the rest of the day going home. We're not gonna be doing anything. We're trying to just get the school board passed so that we can get a crossing guard there.
Correct, and this vote for tonight about the school gate is to we have to get the but the actual vote is for opening back up that school gate. Although it was voted on for it to be closed. It was voted on to be closed, but it was never documented. So we're just gonna,
So what do we vote on? If we vote on it tonight, and we say, okay, now we're gonna vote, we're gonna have it open. But we're not gonna be the ones that open it, is what my understanding is now. From what Gino's saying that the school guard people are gonna be the ones opening it. So this will take effect until they get back to him? Is that my understanding?
the school gate will be opened by the crossing guard, but either our code enforcement or someone in here is going to have to go open it, and then it will have to be closed, open and closed during the time frames that it's supposed to be open and closed. Just like the RV lot, we open and close that. It's the same thing. So it will go into their schedule in order to be open and closed. And that's something that we can't even work on. We gotta find out about school hours and when the school gate attendant is actually going to be there. Because you can't open that until someone's there from the city.
So that gate will not be open unattended at any point, is what you're saying, to all the rest of us.
There has to be a crossing guard there.
As long as it will be maintained, and not left open where anybody can just come in unseen or whatnot, I'm for it, it's fine.
Okay, so I think we're gonna vote on this, and then we'll leave it open-ended for discussion at the end, because I know that this is a topic everyone wants to talk about, but due to state and county laws, we truly cannot leave that gate locked. We have to make sure that it has the availability to be open. That's what we have to do. So the motion is, even though they voted on it, it was never documented and it was never recorded anywhere. So I still think that we have to vote on that to make sure it stays open, right? I believe that we do. Okay, so I'm gonna make a motion that we, well, you can't table it because the school is open.
Then why don't you just let us talk and discuss it first, of what you need to do before you vote?
The point of order is that you make a motion in a second, and then it's open to discussion and hold for a vote for or against the motion.
Okay, so we won't vote, we'll listen to everyone. Whoever would like to speak about this school gate, please.
Okay, Lindy Rose, Unifor. It was about 4 years ago, I think, that the board decided to shut down the school gate, close it, because it was too much on our code enforcement to constantly have to be there at a certain time of day to open, a certain time of day to close, and then a lot of the residents didn't like the fact that they didn't feel gated because it was open. You know, it wasn't like there was no one like standing there watching it for the 2 hours twice a day or whatever it is. So since we've been living like fine with it for the last 4 years, I didn't understand why it has to re-come up or in the first place. It wasn't state law 2 years ago, or 3 years ago, or?
The thing is that this wasn't always a 55+ community. And until those children reach the age that they are no longer going to school, we have to make sure we adhere to state county guidelines to keep that open and accessible for them to go to school.
But is it our responsibility to accommodate that? Is that in our?
Is it our responsibility to accommodate that?
Yeah.
Yes, I believe it is. As a community, it's our responsibility because they were here.
Usually the parents,
it's their responsibility. And being that there's so few kids even in here,
Right.
I didn't really see that it's of that great of importance.
I think there are more children than you know. And I believe that they have been, and now they're having a problem going back. I mean, when they get older, they have bicycles, they want to ride in school, they want to be able to go to the gate, they want to be able to go to high school, whatever's over there. You know, and the state and the county say it needs to be open.
I just am thinking of the residents of that.
Correct.
I know.
Yeah, it's not easy. I mean, I don't know anybody that wants to, you know, watch the bicycles and skateboards and hoverboards and all of those other boards and, go ahead.
Okay. There are two sets of gates. One belongs to us, Brookridge, the other one belongs to county. And the complication was that at one time, their county school gate was supposed to be that they'd have a card and put it in and open and close. But then it broke and nobody wanted to take the responsibility to get that cost and get the cards redone, get the gate fixed. So what happened is that the gate would be opened by the school guard. And a cinder block was put there, it kept open, it stayed open. And how he would do it, he's unlocking the big gate where cars would go around, push the gate open, put the cinder block there, and then do his duty, across the kids, across the street. Now, until you get that school guard back, you can't open up our gate or the other gate and presume that they're gonna have the kids be safe going to school.
Correct, and that's why Gina's working with the school board and the sheriff's department and.
So you're putting the cart before the horse. We have to make sure that there is gonna be a school guard there before you go ahead and unlock our gate.
I recently went and looked at that gate and the one you're talking about, and it is coded now, where you punch in a code, and then it will open. There's no card or anything, it's a push button code.
First of all, I don't think that exists, but I'll go look, because who would fix something? And this was broken when the school gate was closed and we weren't allowing it.
That code is probably what the crossing guard uses to open that gate on their side.
You know what? I'll go look, but as far as I know, when we closed that gate, not to have the kids go through there, that gate was not fixed. And then they dismissed the guard and put it elsewhere. So I don't know when all that happened.
Well, I don't know anything about that, but I know recently when I went down in Austin, I pulled into the drive up, going up there and looked at that gate. It is a code, it's similar to the code I have on my front door, open my front door lock. I'm assuming it is, it's their gate, it's county's gate, that's the one that the crossing guard would use to open.
Okay, because since we closed it, they reassigned the crossing guard, and at that time, that gate, that school gate that belongs to them was not fixed.
It must be now because it's got a coded lock, it's not one of them that you use a card or anything.
Then all I say is before we unlock our gate, we should be definitely sure that they have a crossing guard that's gonna take care of safety.
Correct, and that's why we have Gina working on that, and we want to make sure we work with the county and the school board and the sheriff's department before we go doing anything.
And then we're gonna be responsible for code enforcement to make sure that in the morning and at night, for so many hours, they'll unlock and they'll lock that gate that belongs to us.
Correct, but we're not doing anything on our side until the county has a crossing guard that will be covering that gate.
Yeah, because that was basically why a lot of people in the neighborhood were concerned, because things would be left open.
Right.
And there was no
security in that area.
Then thank you very much. That's something that we'll have to continue to work on.
The school board is the one that's gonna have to okay that spot where the gate is. If they okay it, then it goes to the sheriff's department so that they can put it into play with making it a wall or whatever they have to do. But it has to be the school board that okays it. If they say no, they're not gonna okay it, then we don't have to unlock it.
Right. But it has
And
to.
it's not, and it doesn't, look, I'm not looking for them to charge us anything. That's what I talked to the school board about, that's what I talked to the sheriff's department about. I don't want us to pay for anything. Okay, so, again, this is the last thing I'm gonna say on this. The school board is who has to say yes or no. If they say no, don't worry about it anymore, they won't do it. If they say yes, then we've got to go abide by their rules and regulations and everything like that, not by what we say we're gonna do or not do. We're complying.
I agree with that.
I agree with you.
Well, then we should possibly, decide this contingent upon, we should approve this contingent upon the school board, passing them.
Okay, get to that.
Okay, this is Deb, so I'll talk loud. I'm Becky Shinneberg. Hello. You're next.
Hang on, I'll give you this one.
I'm Becky Shinneberg, Unit 3. You guys kind of vote on something, we don't even have all the details. We don't have all the details, so why don't you get the details before you think about a vote?
Okay, all we're voting on is making sure that the vote that was taken by a previous board is no longer in effect. Therefore, we can work with the school department in order to be able to move
But if you
forward.
want your residents to be happy, you should get all the details first, and then vote.
I haven't gotten the details from the school board.
So then don't vote.
I didn't say I was gonna vote, I'm just saying that until I get,
So table it until you know all the details, is all I'm asking.
Okay, so in tabling this, if there is a child that goes to the school or comes here, or the parents of that child, and they want to know why we don't have that gate open, Brookridge could be fined not having that gate open.
So why don't we get a hold of the school district, find out how many kids are in, we can all show you.
We don't know how many kids are in.
Well, that's what you need to find out. We have the census bureau going right now. Yeah, but you can't vote on something if you don't even know the details. All I'm saying, table it, we got better details, knowing that they're gonna.
We're only voting to make sure that the vote that was taken is rescinded, it's gone.
Why? No, why?
Because when the school department says it's okay, open that up, or the board, whoever it is, then we can work it over that gate.
So it shouldn't be voted on, it should be tabled.
Right.
Fine that you say that, you can have the tax go back. As long as you're.
His question was, would the fine go back to when the child, we find that the child had lived here, or would it start from that day and move forward? We don't know the answer to that, that's the problem. We don't wanna have to pay that fine. When it comes to just opening, we won't open this side of the gate until we know what's going on with the county and the children and the school board and all, we won't open that gate up. We'll come back to you first before we do anything with that gate.
Has anybody lodged a complaint yet?
There are people that have spoken about their children not being able to go through the gate. Yes. That's why we're having this discussion. It is contingent. All we have to do is take out that vote, and then it leaves it open. We don't have to do anything else, all we can do is work with the school board and what have you, find out all of the rest of the information and go from there.
Why don't you, if you wanna, if you're so adamant about voting on this, why don't you be contingent upon the school board approving, having a guard and opening their side?
That's what we're trying to do.
I think that would be the simplest, and if they don't approve it, then this is new, then, you know, they didn't approve it, so, you know, our part has been done.
Okay, so Richard, would you like to make that motion, considering the fact that we tried to do it a few times, and it's not coming across in the manner that we're trying to get it through? That's it. We want to be able to make sure that we can open that gate if we need to. So yes, it's contingent upon the county and the school guards and all of those. If they come back with a no, we're not gonna open it, then no, it would not open. So it is contingent upon what the county, the school board, and the sheriff's department do. And the state. So if you'd like to make that motion, we would love that. Thank you, Richard.
Was that a motion, Richard?
I'll second. Jane did.
Okay, then vote.
Okay. All those in favor? Aye.
Hallelujah. Okay, so now we're on to the reports of the directors. We'll start with Gladys. Oh, wait a minute, we've got to do the ATVs and gazers. That was finished business. They were bought, delivered, they're here, and we have all of the, they're running, and they're perfect. And Public Works is through. So that was done. That's finished business. So now we're on to the director's report. Gladys?
What, excuse me, what? That was finished business. It was from last night, finished. Is there anything else?
Ellie, is there anything on YouTube?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't want to be rude, but as usual, there are complaints. We've got the sound working perfectly. So the folks at home, and at one point there was 35 of them, every time a comment is made, when you turn to your neighbor to say, blah, 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 not to be rude, it's very difficult for those who cannot physically get here.
Thank you.
So if we could try to restrain our comments and go to the podium, save your thought, but just to turn your neighbor every single time in every row, it's not fair to the others. But I wanted to let you know that. And then it said in the beginning, we wasted 20 minutes. This is why we do not need a snowbird on our board. Please use mics. Use mics. Audience should not be in the discussion, yelling out a comment and interacting with the board. That's the difficult part. And then it says school guards should be the school's responsibility as they are trained through the sheriff and placed at the school. Let's notify the residents here that have kids and ask them, maybe they go to another school, not the one they can go through the gate. And that's it.
Okay, well, my apologies to the YouTube folks. I know how difficult it is. I can't even imagine being on YouTube and trying to hear with all the back chatter in here, which we continue to ask for people to be respectful and not do that. We have people that sit at home and they'll be calling us later today leave me a message, or tomorrow, and they'll, again, we'll hear. We can't hear anything with all of the back chatter going on, we can't hear you, we can't hear the person at the podium. So respectfully, we're just gonna have to start saying it at the beginning of every meeting and remind people during the meeting that back talk, you can't do this, because they can't hear, and they have the right to be at this meeting as well. So, thank you, and I'm sorry, YouTubers. So, Gladys.
Okay, I'm still learning all the ins and outs of the treasurer's job. But I am official, I can sign checks now. I do try to keep up with the website, and get that going. I've worked with Robin, I've written the, articles in the news and views. I think the last one was for Richard sitting there in the back. It'll be coming out in the next few news and views, I hope you like them. Highlighting our veterans in this community, we have some, great background on them. That's pretty much all I have. Do you have any suggestions for the website? Oh, one thing on the website, I am looking at putting a section in the members for forms, like your, ACC, if you wanna apply for there, or if you wanna apply to be on a committee or a board. If we put those on the forms on the website, then you don't have to make a trip to the office to pick one up.
Hello, there I am. I think the only thing I wanted to add to that is that I know that George has sent out last emails about committees and the board resumes. So, those are down at the office, soon to be on the website. But anybody that's interested in any committee, please come down to the office, pick that up, fill it out. I'm sure they would love to be able to welcome you to help them. And as far as board resumes are concerned, anybody that wants to be a part of the board of directors, it would be greatly appreciated for you to come down and fill that out and drop it off with us. Thank you.
Hello. All I have is the ACC committee is looking for 2 volunteers, and it would be greatly appreciated if a couple people would step up. It doesn't take long, and it's a wonderful opportunity to learn all the rules and regulations on our architectural committee. That's all I have. Thank you.
I just have one thing here. How many in the residents right now are veterans? Can you show me your hands? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, the reason I'm asking you is if you know any Marine, Air Force, Coast Guard, a Space Force, which might be an Air Force person also, please get in touch with me, Richard, or Robin. My phone number's in the news and views. Just call me. I'll set up an appointment. I'll talk to you, see what you have to say. But we need 3 flags. We need a Marine to carry the flag, and a Coast Guard, and Air Force. So if you know anybody, please let me know, or the other 2 people that I mentioned would be greatly appreciated. Thank you. Oh, I'm sorry, it's for Veterans Day. Okay? Thank you.
We're open for member comments. Open comments.
Before member comments, I'd like to present the proposed 2027 budget. And then Richard, I can either link up with you tonight, if you want me to, I can go back to the office and email it back to you, or we can do it first thing in the morning.
two people.
There's two people that put in paper, so I think they probably should go first. Barbara Foy and Dolores Avila. Yeah, this is number of comments, but they put in papers that they wanted to speak. Okay.
Mine was about the water.
Okay, go ahead, Barbara?
Barbara's right there.
Yeah.
Who's Barbara?
Yeah.
Okay. I only have two questions. One, George, because of the last rainfall that we had and all that flooding, and I know you saw it because you were at one end and the deputy was at the other end trying to get that car out. Are we gonna clean out the drains?
That's what mine's about.
Yes.
Because I know they cleaned off the top, but how about them cleaning them out? That's why, what is that flowing? If you go to the drain that's all cracked up on my corner, that's gonna fall in any time, you'll see the drains are full of garbage.
So there is a plan to go through and clean out those drains.
And now that a new top.
There's also, I know that top is bad,
Yeah.
we spoke about that, I know that one always gets broken by, I believe, the trash dumpster guy, so.
The garbage company,
Yeah.
but now they take a different route.
Okay. So yes, there is a plan to do that. As far as those rains that Friday when that flooding happened, it had nothing to do with the drains being clogged.
The drains were draining.
Every retention pond in this community was maxed out.
There's three right there on each corner. And none of them were draining.
And that, I was at that location, I know you saw me out there, but I was at different locations that were even worse. And even more water than that. Even up front by, what's that, Misty's pond, that huge pond. It had crested and went all the way across the street, halfway into the property on the other side of Brookridge.
But that's how it was with us, as you saw.
Yeah, so unfortunately, it was just a large amount of rain and a really fast time. There is a plan to make sure those drains are cleaned out though.
Okay.
And you know, we just received like a week's worth of rain. No issues at all. It was just a freak event, unfortunately.
And the other question is, Gino, what range of service were you in? Okay. At the last meeting, at the last board meeting, you talked about respect. Okay, you earn respect, you don't demand it. According to the AR 600-25, your hat is supposed to come off when we are pledging allegiance to that flag, with your hat over your left shoulder. I have the regulation right here. So if you want respect, give the rest of us veterans respect back, and maybe you'll receive it.
I presume you were in the service?
Yes, I did my 20 years, and this is the latest regulation, 600-25. And it specifies you must take your hat off and put it on your left shoulder with your hand over your heart to salute that flag.
May I see that, please?
You're not gonna earn respect by disrespecting the other veterans.
And when I went in the service, I gained respect.
Excuse me?
I got respect when I went into the service.
That's what, but if you're talking
May I
this
see the
month, that
piece
you
of
want
paper?
respect from us,
Excuse me.
give us the respect.
Excuse me, may I see your piece of paper, please?
Excuse me?
May I see your piece of paper where it states that
Yes.
show disrespect?
You have to be sure you disrespect. It says that your hat must come off your head.
Well, I brought it up online and it said that I can wear a military hat and salute the flag when I stand at attention, and it's online.
Online for what? Was it the official Army regulation or was it AI?
From
It's
what
two
I
different
understand.
websites.
Well, if you give me a chance to answer, ma'am, I'll tell you. My understanding is that it's from the, I'm trying to think of the words. It is from the veterans that I got that response from. There's no reason for me to stand up here and not respect that flag that I respected for 3 years. I respect you for being 20 years. But I would never, ever show any disrespect to that flag.
But you are.
No, I'm not.
According to the
I think you ought to look more into the detail of it, ma'am. And I'm gonna tell you what, the next meeting I come to, I'm gonna bring my computer and I will show you where it says that I do not have to take my hat off, that I can keep it on and I can salute and stand at attention.
As of 2025, signed by the United States, okay? The order of the Secretary of the Army, AR 600-25, which was dated effective 21 May 2025. So if you want your respect, respect the other veterans. That's all I have to say.
Okay, now I have it right here in front of me.
And where is it from? It's what you're talking about.
It's a federal law and veterans options. Federal law. It says here, military statute, salute. Veterans out of uniform may choose to give a traditional hand salute instead of placing their hand over their heart, keeping or removing a hat. The statute does not force a veteran to remove their headdress if they opt to render the military hand salute.
Barbara, I have one question. What is the scope of that Army regulation?
It's the Army regulation
What
that
is the scope of the Army regulation? Right at the beginning, it says, if it's a regulation in the Army, it tells you what the scope is.
and it's telling you what civilians do if they are retired military personnel, and they're doing the Pledge of Allegiance, and there's other veterans, which we know there are a lot here, and he wants the respect, they give the other veterans the respect. I'm sorry, but I take my 20 years serious. If I can't leave his hat on,
I
if
take
you
my
can't
3
leave
years
his hat on, that's an
serious too.
insult to the rest of us.
Barbara, Barbara,
What you're saying is correct. I think the scope of that regulation, I think it applies to active duty. It's an Army regulation.
It says active duty or retired, right here.
Civilian
Is
regulation.
your cap regulation? That you wear? Then you don't have to regulate.
it's regulated.
Absolute, right here. In civilian clothes, as long as you wear.
Barbara, you're pushing this a little too far than it belongs. I just got through reading you a federal law and, veterans options, and you're not even paying attention to me.
Hi, I'm Brian from Unit 3, Brian Jenkins. I have the
That's smarter than.
United States Code number 4,
It gives you
the Pledge of Allegiance on the flag, manner, delivery. Members, this is the last sentence of the paragraph, members of the armed forces not in uniform and veterans may render the military salute in the manner provided for persons in uniform. So basically, if they're a veteran, they can render a salute as if they're covered. So this is from United States Code, and this is dated 2024.
Okay.
And I believe what Kristen is talking about, a scope, this applies to the whole United States. Because it's the United States Code.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brian.
So you was.
Even though that this is AI, it gives the regulation, refer to the federal law.
Dolores Avila for, I just wanna know who's cut the grass in these water bowls because, this tall grass, my street got flooded. If they were cutting the grass, it would have got flooded, right? Right?
The grass had nothing to do with the flooding.
Really? Don't you think if they down all that grass was in there, they would have come home water?
That grass isn't going to stop water. Water's gonna go where it is. Actually, the grass being there and heavily rooted is gonna help absorb the water into the ground faster compared to a layer of sand across the bottom.
Who's responsible? Us or God for us?
It depends. It depends. It depends where I was waiting for her to respond. It depends where the retention pond is.
My thinking that who's responsible? No, it's not. I don't know. Nobody's cut it in a long time, because I live and I keep track, who's responsible?
If it's behind, if it's, I think only ones that are behind the house, right to the left on the golf course, so that would be the golf.
Okay, so I can call and complain?
Yes.
Okay, that's
What? Sure enough. You're right at it.
Jerry, correct me if I'm wrong. First of all, I want to say, I was really upset until it was explained to me. So I felt because at every other meeting, everybody took their hat off. And I talked to somebody who was in the service that explained to me that you did not have to take your hat off. So I think the thing is a lot of us here, it was done, yes, old school. It was done that way for years and years, so it was just a shock. So now that it's been explained to us, and I now understand, I've changed my point of view because several service people explained to me the change. So now I understand.
I know if it's not a service hat, you do have to take it off. If it's, a golf hat or whatever, that has to be taken off. You can only keep it on if it is a service, a military hat.
I was appalled and was very upset. Actually, it was Brian, when I talked to them, he explained it to me, which made it a lot better. So, old school people, we didn't know, so yeah, I was really offended, but I get it now.
I appreciate what you're saying.
Thank you. The other
Welcome
thing-
back.
Thank you. The other thing I want to ask, well, first I want to say, I don't know how to put this, but I'm just going to say this. It concerns me that we have a snowbird on the board and things aren't meshing. And I think, it concerns me that we have a snowbird on the board and things aren't meshing. So I'm not accusing anybody, but it needs to get right because we're wasting a lot of time here at the meetings. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Now, I do have another question. I don't know if you can answer this. We got an email saying that it's open for board, for people to apply for the board. I'm asking if you got any applications and if any of them are snowbirds, because I do have concerns with snowbirds, and I'm a snowbird, and with snowbirds that are on the board that cannot fulfill the duties. And I'm not accusing anybody. I'm just saying what happens to people if we get too many snowbirds on the board and nobody's here to do anything. So that does concern me because I care about the community. Not against snowbirds being on the board, I just think it's really important that they are part of the board and things get worked out before the meetings. And now I'm done.
Ma'am? Jerry? I want to address something to you. 1964 to 66, I was in the service. And I may get a little emotional. But I was treated like dirt. I didn't expect anybody to do anything different, but maybe a suggestion. The lady back there said, disrespect, respect. I served 3 years. Nobody that lived here went through what he went through, he went through, he went through. The man in the back, none of you that were sitting home or going to work or had a big company making a lot of money, there are 58,202 of us never walked back. So as far as respect goes, that flag and me are like underwear or a pair of pants. I wear it with pride. Anybody that wants to knock me down for it, be my guest. But if you haven't served, then sit back down and be quiet. Not you, not you.
That's why I was saying.
I appreciate it.
Us that didn't know, found it very disrespectful until it was explained by the other service people. So, and thank you both for your service, which you don't know, you don't.
Thank you, Jerry. Robin?
Thank you, Jerry.
Thank you. Well, speaking of veterans, I'm so tired, I'm jet lagged is what I am. I just want you to know that when you come into the meetings at the MTs now, at the end of the, clubhouse here, we have a gentleman that's gonna sit there, usually two people, looks like Craig has gone home. But if you have a need, if you're a veteran and you want numbers for any type of benefits that maybe you're deserving, but you didn't know how to do it or go about it, Richard's more than available to help everybody. And that's what we're trying to do with this Veterans Committee. We're trying to bring in a different way of taking care of our veterans here in Brookridge. It's not just once a year we have a program and then everybody goes home and we forget about them. They're important. They came back, they served their time. We need to respect them every day because without them, we would not even be able to do what I'm doing now. So, I thank you guys for your service. So I appreciate you and that's why I'm on the committee. Thank you.
Thank you, Robin. Yes. Welcome back, Jerry. To answer your question, I apologize. We have two resumes for the board of directors down in the office. One that is a full-time resident, one that is not. One that is a snowbird. Both men. Okay, are we all good now? Okay.
Something that Jerry brought up, I don't know if you're aware of it or not, but all of the amendments that community has voted on from 2023, including the snowbird, and no insult to you, Richard, has never been filed with the county. So technically, we should have a snowbird, even though it was voted on, it was never filed.
Correct.
Correct?
Yeah.
Are we gonna get all those amendments filed? Because the county has no record of them since 2023.
You only have so many.
You only have so much time
The
to go.
statute, the Florida statute says that any resident of Brookridge, no matter where they live, can be on the board of directors.
That was my voice.
That's explained by Stephen Messer at that yearly meeting where we had the voting. And if you want to play that video again, I would, urge you to play that and listen very carefully to what he said.
Richard,
about
this is not
Florida
against
State.
you.
I could live in Germany and be a resident of Brookridge and be on the board if I'm voted in, like I was.
Richard, it's nothing personal against you. I just want the board to be aware that any amendments from 2023 has never been filed with the county from the old board.
Correct.
That's all I'm trying to make them aware of, because we went to the county and they explained everything to us, and there's nothing been filed from the board previous with all those amendments.
Correct. There's a certain amount of time that they have to be filed. If they have not been filed, they have to be re-voted on. So yes, we're aware of all of those that were never filed. But in our rules and regulations, it states for Florida that you could live anywhere. The problem is, it's not about where you live, it's how you communicate. You're right, you could live in Germany. Problem is you don't open emails, you don't communicate, you've got a phone, just like they do, you could call, talk to one another. It's amazing what communication is. Thank you.
Rich for Avenue 3, Rodman was talking about me in the back. Now, I'm a veteran, 100% disabled, believe it or not. I do so much work that they tell me I can't do that. Okay, but I do it, because who's gonna do it? I'm back there, I got 4 veterans this week already, and I have 1, I believe right now, they're gonna need 100% disability. Anybody know how much money that is a month? How much is it?
Depending on your rank.
No.
How much did you say, how much did the veteran get a month, 110 disability? He gets $4,158 a month. That's $50,000 a year. That's free money. So if you're 70%, if you're 50%, stop and see me. The lawyer that I use does not charge you a penny. Zero. Until they win. So what are the guys, I'm going to let you know names, because they don't want no red tape. It's not their job. Their job is just to receive what they did in the service. So with her and I, working this here, and the guys with me, we're gonna take care of them. Because I can walk right over there to the VA here, I can go right to the VA down Tampa, no problem. They know who I am, they told what I did, what I achieved, I'll be on the better the same. So if you know anybody, have them see us. We sure appreciate it. They deserve it.
Okay, anyone else?
Yeah, it's done. It's done, sorry.
And it's on. Okay, my issue, I always have an issue, okay? I think that the speed limit on Country Club is way too stringent. I mean, 20 miles an hour. I'm glad I have to traverse Country Club to get to my house. Not very long, but still, it's a pain. And I can sympathize with people that live like further up, you know, toward Dinsmore and so forth. So I think that the board really needs to look at that speed limit. Second thing is, I love those signs, they're really cool. But I think the signs, those signs that light up and say the speed limit, they need to be posted right out here by this road in front of this clubhouse. Because more often than not, I see guys go screaming down this road, right where that crosswalk is, even though there's a giant speed bump there. And I saw some lady on an e-bike one night. I'm not kidding, she looked like Evel Knievel, you know, going across the speed hump in front of us and nearly ran into some people. So I would ask the board to consider raising the speed limit on Country Club and putting the signs or relocating the signs to, I think this is Hampton or Hamilton, something like that out there. Thank you.
Thank you, Christian. I know that George and we have spoken about the signs being moved around a bit, but flooding and a couple of other things like fixing a dam and all those things sort of take precedence.
It is on the list of things to do, and hopefully put one somewhere on Boulevard. Eventually get enough spots throughout the community where we can just alternate them and not be in this one set location and get more use out of them. Because once they're there for so long, you just get used to seeing it anyway and probably start ignoring it.
Okay, now is there anyone else that you have a question?
You had just, Christian, you had just mentioned about putting a higher speed limit on Country Club. Just the other day, I came in from Brookridge onto Country Club. There was a truck in front of me. It was going over 26 miles an hour. You put a 25-mile-an-hour zone in there, you're gonna have people going 30. I saw it, there, people don't look at those signs. Yes, I understand that, and they brought it down because of people going over that 25. Here it is at 20, and this guy is going over 6 miles an hour.
And I see it too.
Because I live off of Country Club.
So instead of changing it, why don't we tell the code enforcement that 20 is the speed limit, don't give them a ticket unless they're doing over 25?
Work it out. Right?
Okay, we all, yes.
Mary Friedel, Unit 4. I have a question. You have a sign back there for code enforcement to be able to sit in people's driveways and in certain areas.
Hold the microphone close to
Oh,
your mouth.
I'm sorry.
I can't hear you.
Close to your mouth.
Hi, I'm Mary Friedel, Unit 4. You have a sign-up sheet in the back there for code enforcement to sit in people's driveways and things. That's not an option for me, but I have 2 empty lots, one on each side of me. Can code enforcement sit there and get FedEx, Airborne, all of the other guys, and some of the SUV moms and station wagons and people like that on Sutter. I mean, they fly up and down. And we have seniors that are walking and jogging and walking their dogs. And there's blind driveways and things. These people aren't looking what they're doing.
So, George, can they park on lots?
Do you own the lot?
We do, but not those empty lots. They're farm harbors.
So if they're empty lots, that means they're owned by somebody else. Those individuals would have to get permission to park on there.
Can code enforcement or somebody do something like that? Can they be proactive and get permission?
It's private property.
They can reach out and ask, but there's no guarantee.
Right, or maybe they will, because that's good public, relations. Just do something, please, to get these guys.
It's worth an attempt. I'll talk with them and see what we can do, but like I said, I can't guarantee. It is private property, so we can't just park on somebody's lot without their permission. Same way we can't park in your driveway without your permission. And why that sheet is on the back to sign up.
Okay, I give permission.
Okay, thank you. So if there are no other member comments at this time, it's 9:21. Oh, somebody has something, oh, you do? No. It's 9:21 on August 19th, and I motion that we adjourn the meeting. All those in favor? Aye, aye.